Hello, my friends, and welcome to my review of Hardcore Henry. Though I think a few months ago it was just called Hardcore. But anyways, they changed the title and they brought it out, and it's got a huge wide release, which I was very excited because I saw the trailer. I have to say, I saw the trailer, or that little clip with an actor that I did recognize over a year ago. I swear I saw it over a year ago. So with this film, the big, huge gimmick of it, it is presented, I would say 99.5% of the time, it is first person. Just like a video game, like Halo or anything. A lot of video games nowadays are first person. So this movie hopefully appeals to at least, if not all of the audience, but the audience members who love to play video games. It appealed to me. I don't mind a gimmick every now and then, as long as it's backed up by something entertaining. So with this one, it's from the point of view of this person named Henry. He wakes up, he sees his wife, supposedly, and then all this chaos happens after that. There's this guy that seems like he has these powers to push things around, that wants him, and he's being chased, and every once in a while he runs into a person played by Sharlto Copley from District 9. It was really weird to I remember seeing him in that little teaser trailer they showed over a year ago, and I go, oh, it's got him in it, so that's pretty cool. I don't know who made this movie, though there are people that are producing this film that I did recognize, but he was the only one that I could really attach myself. Okay, cool, I know him, and will this rest of this movie have some appeal? It was so I have to say the first thing that really caught my eye was that we get to see his character, or whoever this person is, in multiple different ways. I mean, something should happen, and then we meet him in a different kind of format. He might not have any hair, or he might have a mohawk, or he might be a soldier from a different time, or you're always like wondering, like, okay, I thought in the back of my mind, oh, it's kind of a clever way to have this actor, and he's just playing these multiple parts. And I thought that was really interesting. It definitely makes more sense as the movie goes along and they explain more things. And I thought that was cool. The way they explain it, I thought was quite interesting. But I was really worried before seeing this movie. I saw it in a large theater, large format XD, where there's great sound. Thankfully not in 3D. But I saw it large and in charge. And I saw it pretty far back. I was like in the second to the back row. I just wanted to be as far back as possible. I didn't want to get sick. I didn't want to throw up, or I didn't want to go, this is just too much going on, and I'm gonna leave the theater. I never want to leave the theater, even if I hate the movie. I'll watch it, I'll get it done, and I'll never watch it again. So I got back, I sat back, and I will tell you that I didn't get sick. I didn't want to leave. And I got a huge headache, but I contribute that headache to the fact that it was my second film of the day. So I had already seen a movie before this movie, and I had already seen this one. So yeah, I got a headache. And yes, there's lots of shaky cam. And I'm not the biggest fan of shaky cam. I like when it works, and sometimes it doesn't. In this film, it works a lot, and every once in a while, it doesn't. There's some movement, when the character falls down, or because it's all from this Henry's, character perspective. And so there's times where he's moving around or rustling around and the camera's doing this, or he fights someone and the camera does this. But there's other times where it kind of gets a chance to stay and you see his hands, or you see the gun and he's throwing it around and throwing grenades and stuff like that, or shooting people, and it's really very violent. It's extremely violent. If you cannot take all this crazy action, that's just all this movement, and then it also being very violent, this is definitely not the movie for you. But I think if you're, we're used to this kind of presentation with our video games. I don't want to see this done a lot more with our movies, unless it's just a piece of the movie, like a part of the movie, and then we get back into a regular movie making. But I appreciate it this one time. I really do. I don't know if I want to see a movie like this ever again, but I'm glad something this could be made. Yeah, it didn't feel like a movie, in the sense. It felt like more of a movie attraction, like I was on this roller coaster ride. And I could get into the characters, I could follow the story and what was happening. For the most part, it was very, very interesting. The action is some of the most impressive action I've ever seen in a movie. And I have to say that I think the making of this movie is more interesting probably than the movie itself. Though there are scenes that stand alone, especially that one scene that we saw over a year ago, that are some of the most impressive things I've ever seen on screen. So I appreciate that aspect, and I'm glad that there was enough story to get me into the thing. And they incorporate some humor. There's a few moments where I went, wow, or oh my god, or all these things, especially when some action happens to some bystanders, some innocent people, collateral damage. So there were some moments like that. There's a small little cameo from Tim Roth. I wish he was in the movie more. Haley Bennett is an actress that I recognize. I don't know where I've seen her before. She plays this female lead that the character's driven to find. Like, supposedly she's some sort of love interest to this character. So, it's got a lot of pluses and it's got a lot of minuses, a lot of pros and cons to the movie. I would definitely be warned before seeing this film to anybody that has motion sickness. I mean, I've got a horrible equilibrium. I get dizzy very, very easily, and I was worried that this would happen. But for me, maybe because I felt so involved and it was so immersive and the screen was so big that I felt like it was just me doing all of this, it didn't bother me that much, and I just walked away with a small headache. I'll take some medicine, and I'll hopefully be fine. My sight's okay. I'm glad it's okay, and I'm glad I would definitely sit really far. Don't be so close, because if you're so close, you're just gonna see this a lot. And if you sit back, you're going to see this a lot, but you're also going to see a lot of the action, the very impressive. Charlotte Copley adds personality to the movie, because you are Henry. Pretty much the audience member is Henry, so you really don't get to know Henry that well. You just see his hands, and you see him holding things, and you never really see his face that much and see if he has any emotions or anything. But I knew that going in. I mean, it's a first-person movie, and that's what you're going to get. I mean, it's just a different way to have an action movie. And I'm glad that I hope this doesn't become a trend. I don't mind first-person things happening in movies, maybe to take a break from showing you all the action in a different way, but I don't want to see a whole movie like every year. I don't want Hollywood. I hope the movie's successful. I hope it's successful, but not too successful where more movies like this get made. I hope it's only successful enough that these filmmakers, who I think are very talented, and I'm glad that they took this different approach to filmmaking and telling a story and having an action story, but I hope that they do something completely different. I hope they take a different kind of risk. They took a huge risk with this movie. It'll be interesting to see how this movie fares in the United States, though I think it's in over 1,000 theaters at least. So it'll be interesting to see what the box office, if people actually really want to see the movie. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was pretty solid for what it was trying to do. I think it succeeded with what it was trying to do at least 75% of the time. Yeah, again, there are moments where the camera was shaking so much that I kind of had to just, I was just like, okay, well, that's okay, cool. Now we're back into the action, and there's some really impressive. I also want to point out I really enjoyed some of the music choices in this movie. There was they used the theme of the Magnificent Seven that got me to laugh a little bit. I thought that was pretty cool, and it was awesome to hear Queen, Don't Stop Me Now, one of my favorite Queen songs. And then there's also a lot of other cool soundtracks. But, it definitely felt like a video game that I was actually playing. It didn't feel like a movie where you see all the stuff happening and you feel like you're just hanging out with your best friend. And over here, he's playing the video game, but you're just like this going, he's having fun, but I'm not really having any fun. But for me, with this one, I felt like I was playing the video game. It's a gimmick, but I think it's a gimmick that has some substance around it to not feel totally gimmicky, and enjoyable for what it was. And for that, I am going to give Hardcore Henry, I'm going to give it 3 stars out of 4. I thought it was pretty good.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.